lost in every piece with the hope in disguise. Photos flat, bids low, no one sees the truth. Wasting all my time just to lose what's due. But then, white glove, full set, took the weight off me. Accurate step in, set my options free. 15 shots in a pro-lit room. Now the bits stack high like a sonic boom. No more guessing, no more games. They lift the burden, I stake my claim. They bring the crowd, I reap the flame. Accurate change, the auction name. No more guessing. They bring the fire, I light the way. Watch my numbers rise today. It's easy now, no price to pay. Let accurate gun auctions lead the way. They got the lens, the lab, the eye. Buyers click fast, bids fly sky high. No templates, no stress, no learning curve. Just pack the steel, they get what I deserve. Fast payout, no hassle, no tech degrade. They handle it all, so I can breathe. CoreSTORE plug-in, smooth like code. Just one click and I'm back in control. I'm done with the guesswork, done with the grind. Done wasting hours just to fall behind. Now I got a partner with the war ready stride. Accurate's the reason my margin survived. No more guessing, no more games. They lift the burden, I stake my claim. They bring the crowd.
How you like that?
I love it.
No more guessing.
No more guessing. Hey, do we make these songs available for people to listen to? We've got quite the collection going.
$5.
Cool.
I'm just joking. No,
do you
we
split
do.
it with me?
Hey, you know what we can do? Absolutely. You know what we can do?
Yeah, we need a Coreware channel.
We can literally have a music playing on our website. Just the page.
Oh, yeah.
Where all of our songs are.
Yeah, let's do it. Man, I love the shirt, Joel.
Wow.
Wow.
Dude, my hands are shaking.
Wow. That
Hey,
was
that was
powerful.
That was freaking awesome.
Hey,
Wait,
Joel,
did you say it was horrible?
I said it. No, I did not say it was horrible.
I'm just joking.
What did I
Man,
say?
I don't know.
What did I say? Oh, Oki doesn't know. Greg, wave to everyone because they can see you in the background. Yay.
There's Greg.
It's Greg. We are in our Dubuque office. How cool is this?
Wow, that is awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I'm trying not to be nervous here, but I heard we have like over 1,000 people viewing this.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Amazing.
it's crazy.
That's
It is
exciting.
crazy.
Well,
Yes.
hey, guess
it
what,
really
Joel?
is. What?
I am coming to Shreveport, Louisiana next week.
Woo! Why?
Yes.
Why?
Why?
Why are you coming here? Yeah.
I don't know. You guys told me to be there. I just come wherever you guys tell me to be.
Oh, Oki did that because Oki said we're going to go up there. So I think he wanted you to show up here. Nobody's going to be here. Oki.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. No, we're really excited. We are going to attend the Sports South dealer show, and we should let everyone know if you're going Monday evening between 5 and 8. We're going to host a CoreDerbs at the
actually
Robinson
5 to
Film
9.
Center. Oh, 5 to 9. Cool.
5 to 9. Yeah.
Very cool.
It's just an extra $100 for an hour. So Oki said he would cover it.
Awesome. Not per person, right?
No. Wait.
No, I like that. Definitely extend it. So any of our audience that's traveling to the show, we'll be sending out emails about it, but we're hosting a little event at the Robinson Film Center, one of my favorite places in Shreveport. I spent almost 18 years in Shreveport, Louisiana, working at Sports South. So it's my old stomping grounds. And I was super excited when Joel was able to secure this venue. It's a cool place.
Yeah. Hey, well, shout out to Jenny for even knowing it exists, because I wasn't even thinking about it. So I don't want to take credit from her. But yeah, it's perfect. I wanted to do the aquarium. I thought that would have been cool, but I think this will actually be better.
It would have been a whole lot more expensive.
Yeah, it would have.
But that is a cool venue too.
Yeah.
I haven't been. Did I go? I'm trying to think if I ever went there.
Yeah, I've never
But for
been.
those of you visiting Shreveport, it's definitely a neat aquarium. So we've got Shreveport next week. We look forward to seeing everyone. And obviously we're here for a reason, Joel.
We are.
Yeah. Accurate Gun Auctions. So just a quick introduction. The Coreware mission, for those of you, maybe if you're new with us or not even our customer yet, our mission, specifically our corporate written mission, is to help small business survive and thrive. And from the onset of founding Coreware, my goal was to always create software that just help people with becoming more efficient, saving time. And my ultimate goal was, how can I hopefully influence the increase of sales, right, for our customers, so increase revenue and lower costs, right? And we're starting to do that. If you notice, Joel, do you like my shirt?
I do.
Yeah. So this is my BFG shirt, which is Buying Freedom Group. It's our newer entity that we actually founded, I don't know, maybe a year plus ago. I'm really bad with dates. And really the mission of BFG has always been to help move more inventory, whether it's moving inventory into the store or even out of the retail store. BFG's primary mission is to connect retailers directly with manufacturers, but we do a few other things, and there's some really, really exciting things coming down the pipeline. And every retailer that's on this call is going to benefit from the initiatives that we're introducing from BFG. And actually, Accurate Gun Auctions is literally one of the first initiatives that we're fully rolling out. It is under the BFG umbrella, although you'll see it connected within Coreware. It's not a we're not trying to cause confusion, but again, BFG is a services company. We're not a tech company, and Coreware helps us develop some tech. Our goal, again, is just to improve your business. I mean, that's the bottom line, and to cut costs as much as possible. And if you've been attending the webinars that Greg Turner has been conducting, which have been really valuable. If you have not watched those webinars, I don't care if you're using anything of Coreware. If you haven't watched those webinars, I highly, highly recommend that you watch them. It's general good business advice for retailers, and it's coming from a very seasoned retailer. So I've seen it from the other side. I've always been on the technology side. Greg, we're fortunate to have him on board with us. He's the CEO of BFG. He's also our chief strategy officer at Coreware. And I just learn new things about business every time I'm with him. His webinars have been extremely what's the good word, Joel? Just
informative. Educational.
That's the word.
And motivating.
Very much so. So Greg, I know on at least a couple of the webinars, has talked about the cost of inventory, right? You think that, hey, I've purchased this inventory and it can sit on my shelves forever till I sell it. But there's a real cost to carrying inventory. And it's important for literally every business owner that carries inventory to make sure that inventory is turning, right? Because the more often you can turn inventory, the more money you can make, right? So if you have items sitting on shelves for months, you've got to find a way to get rid of that inventory, free up cash, right? So you can actually take that cash and purchase inventory that is moving, right? And sell more and make more money, right? And keep your door open. So all seems obvious, right? But and there are many ways to get rid of inventory, and we're here today to introduce what I think is a super exciting way to help you get rid of a lot of distressed inventory, specifically firearms, and right now, specifically used firearms. And it's very different than the other auction sites that are out there. And I'm going to, at this point, introduce Jeremy because he'll do a much better job explaining what Accurate Gun Auctions is. And he'll tell you about Accurate Gun Auctions. And then I'll do a quick demo to show you how we integrated Accurate Gun Auctions and completely integrated to where in a couple of clicks of a button, you can literally take that inventory, get it out your door immediately, and you just sit back and wait for the money to hit. It's truly as simple as that. There's nothing hidden. And again, Jeremy will explain his side of it, and then I'll go through and walk everyone through so they can see how you conduct business with Accurate Gun Auctions using coreSTORE. Now, before we get into that, I know that I hope most of you are here to learn about Accurate Gun Auctions. If you're here to win a free gun, great. Welcome.
We're just joking. No, I'm just joking. That would be horrible.
Did we say it's a water gun?
No, but I did tell him it was the wrong gun. So for like a week, I said it was the wrong gun. But this is actually better. Wow. It's an S19, which is more concealable. So.
Oh, nice. Where's Jeremy? He can show the gun, right?
Let's see. Hey, Jeremy.
There's Jeremy.
I surprised him. I hope I didn't surprise you, man.
Jeremy, this is why Joel hates having me on these, because I never follow any script or any plan. So you just got to go with the flow.
We are good.
Okay. Yeah, we're giving away a Seracam S19. It's a Generation 4 Glock clone. We have them in several different colors. We have them in the desert sand. We have them OD green. We have them in black. We have them in a cow pattern. And we also have them in a black with a red splatter pattern. So a couple of options for the winner to choose. And obviously we have these wholesale to the dealers from our sister company, Seracam.
That's fantastic. So yes, we're giving one away and you get to choose your color. And Joel, do you want to go through and explain the
yeah, real
giveaway?
Quick. So I'll be popping in every now and again. And if my assistant would throw the link to register in the comments.
Who's your assistant? Is this your AI assistant?
Anna Grace. Thank you, Anna Grace.
Oh.
So register to win through this link. Way to go. So I'll also have a QR code that will pop up once I get off the screen here. It's going to be in the top right corner of your screen. So you don't have to leave this, I mean, this is an epic webinar. So you don't want to leave it. Just pull out your phone, point your camera at the QR code, and it will take you right up to the link to sign up. About 45 to 50 minutes in, I am going to take all of the names that have registered. So you have 45 to 50 minutes. You have 35 minutes to register. And I'll have the robot pick a winner, and then we'll announce it before we're done here.
Nice. And the winner has to be present, right, when we announce it?
Yes.
Yep. So you've got to communicate to us. If you're watching on YouTube, just put a comment in YouTube that you're here. If you're sitting directly in our webinar, there's a chat that you can chat into. So we'll call out a name, give you a few minutes to acknowledge that you're there. We just want to force you to sit through this whole webinar. But again, I think everyone here, if you are working for a retail store, if you own a retail store, you really want to be in this webinar. If you're just here for the prize, welcome. Maybe you'll learn something. Maybe you have a gun to sell. And you can do it through Accurate Gun Auctions.
Yeah.
So
Dana said, let's go. I have 30 consignment guns that have been stuck for months. So this is perfect.
Sweet. This is perfect. This is awesome.
I'm going to back off so that the real professionals can get to this. And if you guys need me,
go away, Joe.
And
we don't want you anymore. That shirt is just blinding me.
I'll pop back in every now and again. Just say, hey, don't forget to register, because we do want this to go smooth. And I want everybody to, if you're here, I want you to have a chance to win. So, and again, thank you, Jeremy, for the giveaway. That's really awesome. All right, I'm out.
All right, thank you, Joel.
I'm going to just completely cut him off.
Have those 30 guns sold in 2 weeks.
2 weeks. That's a commitment. So Jeremy, I'll let you
Yeah,
introduce
I'm starting
yourself.
next
And
week.
yeah, that might be a little too soon, Jeremy, but because there's shipping and all that. So, but tell us, introduce yourself and tell us how Accurate Gun Auctions, in my mind, is different than any other gun auction site that I've seen, and why I got super excited about it when I met you at SHOT Show.
Well, our biggest difference is we have a white level service. So we do everything for you. You basically ship us the guns. We have a professional photographer with a professional photographer lab. We take all the pictures. We describe the gun. We put everything together on our auction that we run usually on a monthly cycle, somewhere between 4 and 5 weeks. Sometimes they're sooner, sometimes they're every 3 weeks. And we do everything for you, and you get a check. There's no marketing that you have to do because we do all the marketing. Our audience is nationwide, so a lot of times you'll have a gun in certain part of the country that doesn't sell well. You get on the auction, now it's nationwide. There's one fee, one straight commission fee. We don't have add-on fees for marketing efforts and everything else. We just do all the marketing for you, and our audience trust our pictures, so we have a higher buying audience than most auction sites. Most auction sites, the buyers are looking for the deals, looking for the cheap guns. Versus our site, we have the inexpensive guns, we have the high-end guns, and the buyers trust what we're doing. We have the most pictures usually in the industry for each lot. So our buyers trust what they're getting, which to the dealer, they get more for their gun.
And of course, also your big differentiator is you're running a live auction, right?
That's right.
And just give us an idea, how many people are viewing or attending these auctions?
So we have roughly, I think it's up to now a 60,000 email list that subscribe to our catalog that we send out every auction. They'll get, and any high-end firearms will be in that email specializing those guns. So any Coreware customer that sends us a gun that is special, we're going to market that in the email, so they'll get extra marketing for that gun. We also have roughly somewhere between 100,000 to 200,000 people view our auction every month. Some are higher, some are lower, but on average, it's just over 100,000 people viewing the auction, and we're running roughly around 1,000 people that are actively bidding on every auction for every gun.
Wow, that's amazing. So you've had a lot of success selling what I call distressed inventory, both high-end guns as well as some low-end guns, right?
That's correct. We sell the low-end guns, the middle guns, the high-end guns, especially distressed inventory. And a lot of times in a certain part of the country, you just can't get that gun sold unless you reduce it real low to somebody that really doesn't want it, but hey, why not? It's low enough. You send it to us, now we have a nationwide audience. We're going to get full value of what the going rate for that gun is somewhere else in the country. And now, like you mentioned before, now you have cash to buy something that will sell in your store locally.
That's fantastic. So logistically, in terms of how it works, not from a system standpoint, but basically it's as simple as grabbing all the guns that I want to send to you, putting them in a box. You're paying for the shipping, right? So literally it's, so we just,
and yeah, most places you got paid, you have to get the gun to the auction house. Versus us, we will pay for the shipping through the Coreware software. The Coreware will automatically give you a label to put on the box, and we're getting the bill for that.
That's phenomenal. So it's really just a no-brainer. I mean, you've got inventory that you've already tried to sell some other way, and it's not selling. You just stick it in a box and wait for the check, right?
Right. And there's no effort on your part. You're not learning code. You're not learning how to take pictures or put pictures into a website to get on our competitors' gun auction sites, versus we do all the work for you. You just literally put in a box, put a sticker on it, send the Coreware software will send us the information from your FFL to our FFL, and everything's done legal. And it also helps you with taking on guns, consignment guns. Somebody comes in with a lot of 10 guns or 20 guns from an estate sale or somebody that's passed away, and you see 4 or 5 guns that you know will do well in your store, but you see 4 or 5 that you have no interest in. We'll take all 10. You're going to make that customer happy because now you're taking all their guns off the shelf, off their hands. You send us the 5 that you don't want to deal with. You keep the 5 that you know will sell well in your store. And now you made yourself happy. You've gotten money on guns that you never took before. So you're still making some points there. And you made a person happy. And be that shop that takes all the guns versus the shop that hand picks certain guns they want to take.
That's fantastic. And I know everyone's burning question is what's the cost, especially for the Coreware customers? Because I know we've gotten some good a good rate. But can you go through that so everyone understands how it works?
Sure. Our on the street rate is 19 points. That's what we charge everybody on the street. Coreware customers, we reduced it down to 15% on commission. And if you're sending us 5 or more at a time, we're going to reduce that to 12. So 5 or more, which for a gun shop is not hard to pick 5 guns that are distressed that you need to sell. You send it to us, it's going to cost you 12% of whatever we sell it for. And there's no extra marketing fees. There are no other advertising fees. A lot of our competitors—
No shipping fees.
No shipping fees, exactly. You pay the 12% on the 15%, and that's it. There's no surprises, no other fees. That is what it is. All the marketing, shipping, everything else is part of our program that is covered under that percentage.
That's fantastic. So, Jeremy, I know, and maybe I'm going back on, because I get excited every time I talk to you. So I'm maybe going back on what I said earlier. You have an auction actually happening Wednesday of next week?
Well, it goes live on next Wednesday. So all our auctions, they're open for pre-bidding for about a week and a half to 2 weeks, depending on what's going on.
Oh, well, that changes my mind completely. That's how much I know about auctions. I didn't realize. I thought the live auction is on Wednesday and that's it. So we definitely have enough time for people to ship.
Absolutely. If somebody ship a gun out today or tomorrow, we'll get it Monday or Tuesday. We'll have time to set it up in the auction. And when it goes live on Wednesday for pre-bidding, there you go. And it ends, I think it's Sunday the 29th is actually when the live portion happens for live bidding. But the auction's open for a week and a half for pre-bidding. And the way pre-bidding works, like a lot of auction, is you go on, you can pre-bid, and you can set your maximum pre-bid. So if the gun's sitting at $100 and you were willing to spend $5, you can put in $5, but it's going to go in increments of whatever we have set up. So if you're winning at 100, some other guy comes in and does 125, your bid will automatically go up to 150. It enables us to get bids without being live. So if a customer is going to be out of town or away from a computer during the live portion, the computer will automatically bid for you, which to the dealer, now your gun is going to become more profitable because you have the computer bidding on the customer's end user's behalf, so they don't have to watch it live, which drives up the price of the gun.
That's fantastic. And Joel, I haven't seen you pop in with that QR code. I don't know if you forgot. I know you're getting old and forgetful, so I just wanted to mention that. But also, is Charles around? Do we know?
Difficulties,
there's
right?
Charles.
Howdy.
Charles, hello. Thank you for joining. I wanted to segue because based on everything that Jeremy described, I wanted you to maybe, with your experience managing a retail and range environment, I know that you had some ideas that I think are very relevant where you can actually increase your foot traffic to your store by offering and I figured this might be a good segue for you just to explain to people what your thinking was.
Yeah. It's, it's so exciting, not only just for clearing out your aged inventory and doing that in, literally minutes, but you can create a whole new, revenue stream or business line with this functionality. If you're not already using the coreSTORE trade-in function and consignment function, right? It's so easy to bring a firearm into coreSTORE. And, I think a lot of dealers are like, I don't know if I really want to dive in and commit all the way to being a sort of destination consignment or buyer of firearms. And so what this allows, right, because typically you're like, okay, yeah, I'll consign that gun or I'll buy that gun using the coreSTORE trade-in function. But now you got to pay someone to go take pictures of it, and you got to pay someone to go and list it on multiple platforms. And then you've got to wait for that to sell, and then you've got to pay to ship it to the end customer. So you're talking a ton of man hours versus in literally, 5 clicks, you can bring that gun into coreSTORE, turn that around as either a purchased or consignment gun, and ship that out without paying a dime, and get a higher sale price than you would trying to list it on your own by sending it to Accurate Gun Auction. So a couple ideas, and we're going to be working with Jeremy to get this out, is become a destination, a drop-off destination, right? Whether that's, hey, estate sales, and someone's going to bring you a whole closet full of firearms, and it's just as simple as pulling those into the system, putting them in a box and shipping them off, all the way up to, right, how often do you get people wanting to trade, people asking, hey, can I sell this gun to you? Well, now you've got a really efficient way to where even if you're short on staff, you can move like so much inventory out. So don't think about it just as a way to move what you're not selling. Think about it as a way to entice people to bring you their inventory and be able to say yes to every customer, right? Don't be trepidatious about like, oh, I don't want to go through the time of doing that.
Real quick.
That makes sense. Oh, go ahead, Joel.
I'm sorry. I'm seeing some questions, guys. There's going to be a demo, so we're just going over the basics right now, the 40,000 foot view, and then all your questions will be answered whenever we get into the bushes. Just wanted everybody
to know. I'm about to get there.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, we won't ignore your questions. We promise.
Right. We're not ignoring you at all. Well, Charles,
that's fantastic. So Charles, I think at the end of the day, every retailer, the most valuable thing for them is foot traffic, right?
Yep.
So it's to me, it's not just about bringing someone in and because it's a destination, but now you've got that person in front of you. You've got opportunities to sell them more and do more business with them. So that's tremendous.
Yeah. And even having that marketing piece, a sign that's, hey, sparking that interest of, really driving your trade-in business and driving your consignment business, because you've got, basically a virtual back end with Accurate Gun Auctions. So what normally would take, maybe more than one full-time person, you can say yes to every consignment and every trade-in or gun buy, because you can just very quickly move them out to the auction site.
That's fantastic. All right. Well, I think everyone would love to see how this actually works. So let me I'll go ahead and share my screen. All right, so hopefully everyone's familiar with coreSTORE and the bound book module.
You want me to throw it up on the? You mean to throw it up on the screen?
Oh yeah, that would be helpful, Joel. I'm glad you're paying attention.
All right. Hey, now you'll be able to see the QR code.
Oki is sitting right next to me, and he was whispering things, and I'm like, I have no idea what you're saying because I have something in my ear. So. But yeah, I'm glad someone's paying attention. So it helps if everyone can see the screen. I've already seen it many times. So we have this really unobtrusive, not noticeable banner. I'm being sarcastic. We're so excited about this. It's front and center, right? For us, it's an important function, right? You can get rid of your inventory. This also has a couple of cool features, right? So when I click here, I'm actually presented with a couple of videos. So don't worry if you don't follow the steps that I do, because we've got a simple video here. You will not see this banner. I'll make a commitment. We'll have it up there tomorrow morning. So just to segue really quick, we did do an update last night for coreSTORE. We actually tackled a slew of bugs that all of you have been reporting or experiencing. We've addressed a lot of the issues with our channels. So it's a really exciting update, right? And part of this update is accurate gun auctions, but we have not enabled it because we wanted to have the webinar first so people wouldn't be scratching their heads trying to figure out what the heck is this. So now that we've done that, we will turn this on, which means that you should be able to start shipping guns to Jeremy tomorrow, right? So, and you'll see how easy it is. Stupid easy. So there's a couple of videos, right? There's an introduction, which obviously you've seen the introduction in this webinar. And then there's a walkthrough where Josh Oakey takes you through all of the steps. But the nice thing here is I can very quickly filter down my inventory. So if I want to only look at firearms that are 30 days or older, I can quickly click that button. Or if I want to see, you know, firearms that are 90 days or older, I can click it again. And now I've got all of my firearms, right, that are old. And I can say, hey, you know what, there's a couple here that maybe I don't want to send out to auction because I forgot they're here and I actually can sell this. You know, I just need to do my own marketing. That's fine. You can choose whatever firearms you want to ship. So if I want to ship just these 2 firearms, I can just check the box. And all I have to do is click send to accurate gun auctions. At this point, it's super, super easy. It already fills out all the information, right? We know your FFL number, we know all the information. So all you need to do is either select from a pre-made box that you already have set up in the system. But you can also skip that and simply enter the weight. So let's say it all adds up to, I don't know, 12 pounds, and I've got a box that's 10 by 24 by 6, right? And at this point, I can either ship both guns in one box or I can add a new box, right? So if both guns I'm shipping, I can just verify the serial number and verify the serial number for the other one. Oops. And I'm ready to go, right? Now, again, I can add a box at any time. I've got my terms and conditions here. We'll just say we're shipping everything in one box. I'll hit save. And at this point, the system is going to create the label, right? And it immediately will take me right to a new dashboard, which is the Accurate Gun Auctions dashboard. And you'll notice that this dashboard, I've got the 2 firearms, right? The latest ones, they're in pending disposition because we need you. We can't dispose them because we don't know if you've actually handed them off to UPS at this point, right? So at this point, you'll see several firearms. You'll see the status. For example, these 2 are sold. This one was received by the auction site, right? By Accurate Gun Auctions. So you've got a nice dashboard here. You can search for specific items by either serial number or, you know, by description. I can filter down by status. But at this point, what I can do when I'm ready, you know, I've got everything boxed up. I just want to print the shipping labels, just hit print. And it will actually print the label for you. You don't even have to hit the print button. You won't see that because it pulls up a dialog box, which I'm not sharing my whole screen, but you'll see the preview of the label right there. So it's as easy as that. The minute you click on print shipping labels, that's it. Just hits your printer, prints the labels, and you're ready to go. At the point when you've handed that box to the actual UPS driver, you just mark these as shipped. Oop. I mark them as shipped, right? I just click there and just hit mark to ship. And these now are in transit, right? So basically you're done. Now you just need to wait for Jeremy to get the items, inspect them, take photos, list them. So the first step that Jeremy will do on his end is just as soon as he receives the shipment, and we've got a Oakey acting as Accurate Gun Auctions. So I'll just refresh my screen. And you'll notice that now they've been received. And at this point, again, you can come back to this Accurate Auctions dashboard anytime. It's right under the FFL menu, right under Accurate Gun Auctions. And as soon, now, actually, I should mention, so we dispose the firearms, but what we've also done is we actually created suspended transactions. And what we did was we create a suspended sale for each firearm that you send out, because some firearms may sell in the first auction, maybe one will sell in the second time that Jeremy lists them, right? So we decided separate every firearm into its own suspended sale. And of course, you can pull up your suspended sales by serial number. But again, you don't need to do anything till the very last step. And I'll explain that. So right now, we've got 2 firearms in suspended sales. You'll notice that the price is 0, right? The cost is whatever you paid for that firearm. But the price at this point is 0 because it hasn't been sold yet. So at this point, if I go back to my Accurate Gun Auctions, we'll go ahead and mark them as sold, or mark at least one of them as sold. Did you mark both as sold or just one? You did one. No, that's perfect. All we want is one. So at this point, if I refresh, you'll notice that this transaction is now marked as sold. And again, you can go to your suspended screen, or you can just click on the sale ID, right? And you can view the label at any time too, by the way, if you had a printer jam or anything like that. So again, this item was now sold. A little note, it would be nice if we added the sold date. The sold amount, right, to this screen would be nice. Do we? No, that's on your end. Yeah, so that's a side note, sorry. So again, at this point, I can pull up the transaction. Pull up for me, but I'll go to suspended sales, pull up my 543. It's actually, that's already marked as complete. Let's go here. And I will pull up the transaction. Let me just look up receipt. $543. And you'll notice it shows me the amount that it was sold for. And that amount would be the amount you received from Jeremy, right? So at this point, and we don't want to complete the sale. This is a side note for us, because we want to wait till you receive the check. And at that point, you'll be able to specify that you received the money, check everything, and you'll complete the sale. So basically, super simple. Really just a few clicks of the button and that gun is out the door. Obviously, I showed you the entire journey, but it's very easy, fully integrated. Let's answer some questions.
Real quick.
Yes.
You guys have 10 minutes to register, and we're going to drop that link one more time.
10 minutes for the free gun registration.
Yeah.
Minutes.
Yep.
It'll be a quick 10 minutes.
Jeremy,
yeah, it looks like some of the main questions here around photography. That's the beauty. You don't have to take any pictures, right? So you just bring the gun into the system, or if it's an existing gun, you just go through the process Ezra showed, put it in a box, it automates the shipping label, and they have an incredible studio on site. They're going to take great pictures and then get that listed up. It's kind of fun too, right? When they're doing the live auction, share that out to your staff and everyone can watch. If you've got a unicorn gun, when we stopped by there at the office, they had some Uzis and some other, rare and unique guns as well. So yes, that's the great thing. You don't have to mess around with photography. And then around, yes, right now it is only used, if you've got some crazy unicorn, you can definitely reach out to Jeremy and see about that. And then, they can go from there. Jeremy, can you speak on the reserves? That seems to be a popular question, and how we handle that. And if an item doesn't sell, what's that process? in terms of like any return or that kind of thing?
So one of the reasons why we're doing this focused on used guns with no reserve is because there's a lot less risks to the retailer when you're selling a used guns, because we're going to assume you bought that right, but at the standard 50 to 60% of what it's valued at, and we're going to sell it at true value nationwide, and you're going to get 85% of the value. So you're going to make money. So there's really no reason to have the reserve. And auctions tend to go better when there is no reserve. People are bidding on it faster. People are more excited about bidding on an auction that doesn't have reserve. And so that was the reason why we were focusing on used guns with no reserve. Now, with that said, I know putting a $4,000 used gun out there might be a little risky with no reserve. So anything that is valued over $1,000, you can call us up on a one-off, and we'll put a reserve on that on our side and take care of that for you and make sure that gun gets the value that you're looking for. And if that's the case on a reserved item, our normal policy is we charge $100 if it doesn't meet the reserve and we have to send it back to you. We waive that $100 reserve fee if you allow us to try running it 3 times to see if we can actually sell it. Now we'll communicate with you and tell you, hey, your reserve's at $1,200. We got to $1,000. Maybe let's lower the reserve to $1,100. As long as you're flexible with us, most likely it will sell. The only time we ever find guns that don't sell is when somebody has a gun that they have a ridiculous reserve on. And as everybody knows, you have several customers that come in the shop thinking that their gun's worth XYZ. In reality, it's not. Just like car dealers, take a used car to a car dealer, he thinks he's going to get XYZ, and the dealer's like, no, it's worth this. So as long as everybody's on reality, every gun sells. And that's also why we have no reserve on the most part, is so every gun sells. The end user's happy because they're getting a gun, you're getting cash now to use somewhere else. So, but I understand sometimes there are risks, and that's why we're willing to discuss reserves on items $1,000 or more on one-off kind of items. I did see somebody mentioned about map pricing.
Before you address that map pricing, I do want to add something. Joel, I don't know why my screen's not showing. Can you put my screen back up real quick? Thank you. So I do want to also mention, you can also provide special instructions as you send your firearm to Accurate, and they will see these special instructions. So if you do have a special gun, or you do want to make sure there's a reserve, obviously you can call ahead of time, but if you're sending it no matter what, you just want to send some special instructions, you can totally do that. So yeah, let's go ahead and answer the question about map pricing, and then I also want to answer the question about how this is different from GunBroker, because it's very, very, very different. So
yes, definitely different than GunBroker, and we'll talk about that in a second. Map pricing, as far as map pricing, obviously there's no map pricing on used guns, so you're referring to new guns. If you wanted us to sell one of your new guns and you're worried about map, we're selling it under our name, not your name. So therefore, their map pricing doesn't come into play, because nobody knows that ABC Gun Store is selling this gun through us. It's a consignment gun. It's, as far as the world is concerned, it is used gun, and your name is not anywhere associated on that firearm. So therefore, you can't get in trouble for it selling less than map, because it's not tied to you anymore. It's tied to us.
Yep.
If that makes sense.
Absolutely. Let's go ahead and address the elephant in the room, GunBroker. GunBroker, it works. It works good if you have a lot of time and a lot of money to put into it. If you go simple, submit simple pictures and do the regular marketing, it's not going to sell very well. You have to spend extra money to market, to get it highlighted, to get it on the top of the page, for GunBroker to marketing for you. There's a lot of extra fees to get it any exposure within the GunBroker platform, because GunBroker, you're going to be one of 1,000 guns within that particular kind of gun. So it's not unique usually on GunBroker. And to be honest with you, typically our buyers spend 10 to 15% higher than they do on GunBroker, for the simple fact we have professional pictures,
and they trust our pictures. The gun broker pictures they don't trust. So if you have the time to do gun broker, it's an option. If you want to give us the gun, we take everything off your plate and sell it for you. The simple thing is you hit 5 clicks on the Coreware software, we have the gun and we take care of everything. Versus you probably spend 2 or 3 hours per gun on gun broker to get it listed to where it can get some exposure and get the value that you want.
And not only that, there's a lot of fees, right, with gun brokers. So even though there's that base fee, they keep adding and adding and adding, and shipping fees and everything else. And not only that, you may have firearms that have been listed on gun broker for 2-3 months and they're not moving. So again, you can grab those guns, put them in a box, clear out your shelf space, and get some cash for them so you can fill your shelves with better product that's moving faster.
Oddly enough, I have two or three independent people who buy guns on the low end on gun broker and then send it to us and sell it through our auction.
That's awesome.
The guns off gun.
Yeah, and absolutely ask any question. There's no bad question here. If you guys know me, I'm extremely transparent and blunt. So like I said, I was excited about this from the day I met Jeremy, and because I just saw how different it is than what else is out there. Obviously, Coreware, we integrate into GunBroker, right? So, but again, you need multiple channels to sell things. I've said it for years and years and years. You want to be able to sell in as many avenues as you can. And this is just a really unique channel from my perspective. And I mean, just based on the numbers and, having these live auctions and having literally 100,000, 200,000 views, it's giving you tremendous, or giving the product, right, tremendous exposure. So that's really amazing from my perspective. Jeremy, I know when we set this up, right, we specifically said only the used guns, but from a technical standpoint, it's obviously very easy for us to turn on, because right now when you're in coreSTORE, it won't let you send Accurate Gun Auctions a new gun. We programmed it that way. But I know we've talked about maybe also opening this up to new guns. And again, I think we wanted to see how this goes with the used guns, but we can very easily enable customers to ship you new guns. We just need to maybe decide, and that needs to come from you. So not to put any pressure on you, but it's really, it's up. We're just listening. You're the expert. So I'm doing what you told me to do. So
I saw the comment on custom gun, a new gun that's customized. Yeah. I think that's a great idea, and would really stand out. So yeah, we can definitely make that happen.
I mean, I don't have a problem with selling new guns. From our experience working with other dealers, the dealers have high expectations with reserves on new guns versus used guns they bought at a so much lower level to where there's a lot less risk on used guns, which is why we kind of went with the used guns. But yeah, if you have a new gun that's been sitting on your shelf for 3 years and you want to sell it and you don't care what it goes for, you just want to get it off your books, yes, I'll take that new gun. I don't have a problem with that.
Okay, so to get around the limitation, I'm going to share the cheat. You can mark it as used, send it to Accurate, and just unmark it as used for now. We'll talk through the technicalities a little later, in terms of turning it on for new guns, and maybe we need a little more verbiage. But let's just say starting tomorrow, it does need to be marked as a used gun for you to be able to generate the label and be able to take advantage of the the lower fee, right, that Coreware customers enjoy.
And I mean, we could talk more about it later, because I mean, if you do send a new gun and I know it's new, if it's coming from a dealer, I can actually mark it as a new gun. I'm not going to list the dealer's name because the dealer doesn't want to know you don't want your customers knowing that you're lowering the price on guns through auction, because you want your value within your store to stay high. So your name won't be associated with that gun whatsoever. So down the line, if we want to tweak the system a little bit, I will mark, because the only guns I advertise as new are guns that come from a dealer that the dealer
Yeah.
tells me they're new. When a customer, an end user drops off a gun that he says, "Oh, it's brand new, it's never been shot," in my eyes, it's
Yeah.
still used. Just
No, we can definitely send that data point to you because we know it from the bound book. Question: machine guns, NFA items, are we good?
Yeah, we'll take them. We've done fully automatic Uzis with silencers. We've sold several silencers, silencers. Yeah, not a problem. We are a SOT license. NFA items are not a problem, and we have a buyer's market for it. I think the most expensive gun we've sold is like a $60,000 burn. Yeah.
Nice.
So no problem handling and we will pay special attention to those high-end guns. It will be on our Facebook posts. It'll be on our email blast that we're sending out, because we do have customers looking for those kind of items, the high-end items. We had a $40,000 Cosmo shotgun the last auction or two.
Wow, that's cool. Very cool.
So yeah, it's not a problem with NFA items and machine guns and all that good stuff.
Last time I'm popping in.
We can provide a link to the go away. No, I'm kidding. But we can provide a link to AGA's SOT license and FFL license. We can add that to that dialog box. Oki, if you can make a note of that, we should do that anyway. So they have a copy of AGA's license and SOT or the FFL license. Joel, this is the last chance, right? Everyone,
last chance.
quick.
I'm going to get off so you guys can scan that code. I'm seeing some people can't scan it, obviously, because there's stuff up there. That's why I'm taking people off the screen. So hey, another couple of minutes and that's it, man. It's over with. 2 minutes.
2 minutes. So the QR code is right in the top right corner there. Take your phone, point it, and it should take you to a link. We can also drop the link in the chat if it's easier. Oh, Anna's done it a few times. Thank you, Anna. There was a question about maybe running a wholesale auction. I want to make sure we're not, we're not ignoring that. I don't think that's in the current plan, but I'm sure Jeremy's looking at all different future options. Is that a proper answer, Jeremy?
Yeah, I mean, we're a growing company just like everybody else, so we're always looking for more options. If that particular person wanted to send me an email directly, I'd be happy to get what they're exactly talking about and see if that's something we want to look forward to in the near future. Somebody mentioned about there was only one picture. I'm curious what they're talking about, because every single gun, every single item, even accessories, have usually a minimum to 12 to 15 pictures. There's only one picture on the lot, but as soon as you click on that lot, it expands to 15, 16 pictures, every single gun. So I'm not sure what they're referencing, but I can guarantee you there's a minimum 15 pictures of every single gun, especially on a $3,000 gun.
Someone asked about the link to the giveaway. If you still can't get it, drop a chat really quick and we'll try to get it to you. I don't want anyone to be left out from the giveaway. What's the return process for firearms not sold? What are the fees?
So in theory, every gun should sell because there's no reserve. We've never had a gun not sell because that had no reserve on it. On the high-end items that have a reserve, like I mentioned before, if you only let us run and you want to send it back, we're going to charge you $100 because we did the work. But if you work with us and let us put it in 3 different auctions and it still doesn't sell, I'm going to ship it back to you for free.
So for free, we like that. And that's how confident, Jeremy, you are with the auction actually being successful, which again is huge. There was another question about,
and that's also another reason why we want to have a phone call on the reserve and high-end items, just to make sure that we're both on the same page, that the reserve is reasonable. If a gun is running on average on $1,000 on Gun Broker and you want 2,000, that's probably not going to work. But if you want 1,300, well, our average is higher than Gun Broker, so that is a reasonable expectation.
Yeah.
And we'll have an idea what's reasonable.
Yeah, if you walked in late, there's really nothing you need to do to log into AGA. Everything is done in coreSTORE, and you'll see starting tomorrow morning a orange banner in your bound book that says Accurate Gun Auctions. There'll be links to videos there. So again, if anyone walked in late, don't worry. This video will be posted. You'll have it immediately available on our YouTube channel. Again, super easy to go through the process. Tomorrow morning, just go to your bound book. You'll see an orange banner. Super simple from that standpoint.
Charles mentioned earlier about being a drop-off center for us, and adding that revenue source to your company, especially if you're not currently doing consignments or used guns. And I'll work with any of the retailers that want to do that. We'll get together and we'll send you a banner to where we'll pay for a banner and send it to you for your retail store. And we'll also put you on our website as an Accurate Gun Auctions drop-off center. So you'll get some marketing on our end to get people into your store.
Yeah,
Excellent.
yeah. Kind of going back to the Gun Broker piece, right? It's Gun Broker. You're a bit limited unless you've got a whole operation on how many guns you can list, because it does take time. You got to do your own pictures. With this, think about this as a way not only to move your current inventory, but to increase your total amount of guns sold, because it's just so much simpler. And even training your sales staff, right? If someone's like, oh man, I really want that high-end 2011, and it's like, oh well, I've got a Gen 3 Glock 17. It's like, oh well, hey, we'll put that on consignment for you, or we'll buy that for you for X, and just move that right along to Jeremy. So a great way to use that as some trade-offs. Let's see. Sorry, looking at these other questions here.
Yeah, we will. I'll answer a couple. We'll definitely make sure the Accurate Gun Auctions phone number is clear and center on that banner that I showed you. So you can contact them with any specific questions, or if you have a specific item that you do want to put a reserve on, you can have that conversation. Yeah, Nathan, unfortunately, all I can say is better late than never. So hopefully you'll get some new Colts in, but I feel your pain. There was a question. Someone did post a link to the item. I think that they saw only one picture for, but I can't click these links either in the chat. So, but it was I don't know. It was a Colt 217 guns ammo Colt lot 25002, and then that that leads into a question that I saw earlier when I was scrolling through. Someone, I guess, pulled up previous auctions and didn't see. They want to see like the. Do you show a history of auctions? That shows what guns were sold, and is that?
Yep. So if you go to, oh, you know what? Oh, okay, I know what's going on. Give me 1 second. Let me show you this.
Yeah, share your screen. Let me stop sharing my screen.
I don't need. So I'm gonna do a link here. So give me 1 second.
Oh, you want to give me the link?
I'm gonna put it in. I'm gonna put it in the chat here. Oh yeah, you can do it. So yeah, you can go to agahighbid.com.
AGA what?
Highbid.com.
Oh, highbid. Sorry, I put hybrid. I'm like, oh wow, are we going to highbid.com? Joel, put my screen back up if you could. AGA highbid. Well, wait, I'm not getting an order. agahighbid.com.
HIBID.
HIGHBID.
Yep.
I'm getting sick.
Yeah, just so everybody knows, there's just a slight delay on our audio, so please forgive us.
So
Joel, can you?
So
You ready for the screen?
No, because I'm not AGA high bid. Oh, it's just no. Oh, high as an HI? AGA.
HIBID.
Oh,
So
sorry.
let me
I'm slow today.
talk about that link. Yeah, that link that they're those auction items that they saw
Put
one
my
picture
screen up,
of
Phil.
for 3,000. What that is they're on our main website looking at past auctions as examples. It's not the actual bidding platform, so it's only showing one picture, and that's why they're only seeing one picture on several items because they're looking at our website, not the actual.
Gotcha.
So yeah, if you go here and you click that past auction button in the top right.
Oh, you got a little misspelling. It says post auction, but past auction. Oh, there's both. Wow. I
So
am
yeah,
not a
so
good
click on.
driver today, Jeremy. Sorry. Just click on anything. I'll click
So yeah,
on
click
this.
on yeah, there you go. Click on that and scroll down. Yeah, and pick any item you want. And now you'll see there's 15 different pictures of the firearm. So we use HiBid as our software to run the auction as our main auction software, and that is that's where all the guns are
Nice.
listed with all the what you were saying on our marketing website was just screenshots of the particular auction. Now I'll have to tell my tech guy, when you logged onto this one, which is our latest one that just ended a week ago, it says price not realized. There's a button they need to click to show the prices, because normally our prices are listed what it was sold for, so everybody can see what it
Gotcha.
was sold for. So if you go to past auction and pick a different auction, you'll see the actual prices.
Okay. Let me, should I pick this one?
Oh, I'm not, you're still in the same auction. So go all the way back to the top. Go to hit the past auctions again. All the way to the top. Past auction. There you go. And then you can scroll down and go down two. Go down one more. Now hit the view catalog.
Hit
Where it
the
says,
view
yeah,
catalog. Got
right
it.
there. Now if you scroll down, now it's going to show, you'll see what they actually sold for.
There we go. Sweet.
And if you, at the top, if you hit the past auction and on the right hit lots and put in any kind of gun, if we've sold it, it'll pop up and you can see what it sold for. Like you can do a search, so you can search auctions and see how many we sold.
Very cool. So I can just type in whatever I want in here, or I can just scroll through and see everything. Very cool. So let's post the accurate gunauctions.hibid.com just so everyone can actually go see the past auctions and all of that information. This is great.
Now, when we have an auction running, there is a button in the middle of our home web page that says "Bid Now, Auction Live" kind of thing. So if they were to click on that, it would bring them right to the current auction. And when it's not live, it goes to where you're seeing that.
That's awesome.
I hope that answers the question of everybody looking at
I
one
think
or
it
two
totally
pictures.
does. It makes sense to me.
And only firearms right now. That's come up a few times. But suppressors, those are good to go, Jeremy. Or
Yes,
do you want them to
we
reach
have
out about
no suppressors are fine. We'll take suppressors all day long, and we'll take scopes or high-end scopes. You know, it's not worth any of your time to send us an accessory that's less than $100, right? It's don't be sending that to us. But anything that's worth, I hate to say 100, but I like to be a little bit higher. But high-end accessories we'll take. You know, we sold 1,000 rounds of ammo, boxes of 100,000 rounds of ammo, several auctions. So that's always a seller. So, you know, if you get a good deal of, you know, a pallet full of ammo and you want to dump a few thousand rounds, you know, send that to us.